Hello, Stock Planner here, making my plan for next week, going over a few stocks today in this video, and generally trying to feel out the market. Looking at FinBiz, the big boys, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, all a little pinkish. Overall, the market looked a little green. The Dow, Nasdaq, and the S&P 500 all ended up higher, but not by much, and this was on Monday. And remember, this is a short week. Today is Tuesday. 4th of July, America's birthday. Happy birthday. Consumer, technology, and financial all did well last week. On June 24th, I made a little plan and predicted the direction of the market. Now, obviously, I think I'm going to be wrong. The SPY, the Qs, and the RUT. I said it was going to go down short last week when it all went up, and so there I lost. On the 24th to the day, my win percent is 51%. That's as good as a monkey. But I thought things like AMD, BABA, were all going to take a short dive. It looks like I did win BABA. Anyway, you want to be a winning. You can have a winning system with good risk reward as long as you can do around 50%. So this hangs in there, but this is tough. 18 wins, 17 losses, not good. My algo, I have an algo that gives or tries to predict the direction. It's out on my free Discord in the free zone, and I get a lot of conversation here and some trade ideas. And here's the watch list, free watch list, and do that simply by clicking on, and it gives my favorite 140 or 150 stocks and the directions. And what I did was I can copy that in and put it in a spreadsheet on the 24th. And it looks like I did this on the 23rd, and my algo did 65%, 66 if you want, 23 positives and 12 negatives. I could do something with that. Should have listened to my algo. Now, what I'll do is I'll go out and get today's watch list, copy it in, and make my own predictions, see if I'm better than the algo. I've done that, and now, because I just done it, and it's the most current data, we have a win rate of 82%. But this will change as the week goes on, or in this case, might be 2 weeks before I'll follow up on this again. And I'll update this spreadsheet now. Looking at the SPY, it's definitely in an upward trend. This is a zigzag, and it's an upward trend. This is the MACD, the stochastics, and the RSI. RSI is pointing up, stochastics up, and so is the MACD. But this is a support line too. Maybe it won't go past. It's a short week. People are on vacation. I'm guessing that it's not going to go any more higher other than 3% higher, 3% below. Qs look the same. I don't think it's going to go higher than 3%. It's going to stay in a range. 3% up and 3% down. And I think basically this is going to hang in that area there. I don't think it's going to move much. Knowing that information, you can do an option trade or to stay within that range. And that same thing. You might have a level of support there or resistance, depending if it goes up. But I don't think this week is going to change much. So I'm calling the SPY, the Qs, and the RUT neutral. It looks like gold wants to rise. My algo says neutral. I'm going to go long. Copper seems to be range bound. The algo says neutral, and I agree. Ticker symbol XLE, an ETF, energy, seems to be range bound here. And I think it's going to stay in within this range. So we'll call it neutral. The MACD is below the 30. It came back around. Stochastic looks like it came back around. And we have a crossover around the zero line. This could go up. Calling it long. Now let's look at the FANG stocks, the FANG Plus. These are stocks that nearly everybody is looking at. No reason to change course. Apple long. AMD long. Looks like you have a bit of a crossover here from the MACD, the stochastic, and the RSI. Whoa. Amazon. No stopping. Amazon. The MACD, stochastics, and normally we take a long when it's below the zero line. It's right on the zero line. This could be a pullback up that, bounce, or it can continue on down. I don't know for sure. I'm going to call it long. CRSP seems to be bouncing on that support line. I think it's going to hang in there, and we'll call it a neutral. If you're bullish on this stock, you may say it's going to bounce and go up. We're normally like to predict about 30 days out to see how good our prediction is for 30 days. Disney. Seems like it is bouncing. Let's go long. Ford. Zigzag is painting that blue line all the way up. It seems like it knows what it's doing. It only paints that when it knows what it's doing. Last week I thought it was going to have a pullback. It didn't happen. I'll go with the crowd. Crossover there. MAC crossover there. Looks like it wants to go up and up. Zigzag doesn't know what it's doing, it, or else it would continue that line down. There's a question mark here. I think it's going to hang this week, but in 30 days, I think it will go up. So I'm going to say long. I think we had a pullback. I think INTC is going to go long. There's a lot of news on Intel lately. I don't understand who's buying this stuff. Meta. 30 days out, I think Meta is still going to go up. Microsoft, I'm saying neutral. I'm going to believe it's going to hang in this range. What's going down? Seems like it's reversing this past week. Will that support? Will it bounce off support and go down? That's not support. That's resistance. Will it be bounce off of resistance, go down or up? RSI is in its overbought condition. I think over the next month, Netflix has gone down short. Netflix. Now we're going to look at Neo. Neo's in the channel, I believe. I think it spends a lot of time in this area. I'm calling Neo neutral. So if you can find some kind of iron condor or iron butterfly or calendar spread, you might do well. This is a $424 stock. It's expensive. I think this is going to be hanging around this area for a little while. In NVDA, I'm calling neutral. PLTR, my wife's new favorite, been going up. She has a trade. I let her do an actual trade, and it's making a little money. Gonna call this long. By the way, last week I called it short. My wife went long. She didn't listen to me. Tesla, I think it's gonna hang in this area for a little while. Neutral. The previous charts were in TradingView, and this is another charting package called OmniBroker, and I have it located out on a cloud, an Amazon cloud. This is the 3 indicator strategy, and I'll explain that to you briefly. This is the MACD, the stochastics, and the RSI, just like the other image. The difference between TradingView and OmniBroker is I can do a basket full of stocks, run a routine, a portfolio, whereas in TradingView you do one at a time. Anyway, we have a crossover of the MACD here, but I have in my algo, I have it when the MACD is below the 0, when the stochastic is below the 20, and when the MACD is below the 30 and come back around, you get these little dots appear, and they say go long. And these little arrows are my algo telling me that enter in a trade or add some more. And you can see that Humana has been bouncing off this so-called support. There's a large gap there, and I think Humana is going up in the near term. That routine produces a back-tested report, or I use this for my roadmap, and you can see that Humana on the 20th went long, just like the chart. Currently, based on this and where I entered, I'm losing about $35. And I have the initial trade and 4 scale ends, as you've seen on the chart. Losing a bit of money. Also on the 20th, Logi. There's been 2 scale ends there, and the profit is $209 so far. Let's go take a look. There's the RSI, crossovers, saying go up. There's your stochastic, it says go up. And there's a crossover in the MACD, but all I require is the MACD to be below the 0 line. And when those 3 things occur, within a couple bars, that's the time to go up. And there are my arrows, and it has traveled up. I normally trade options, so I try to stay in as long as I can. My exit criteria is when it reaches a profit target or a stop loss, or when it starts coming back down, I set a little trail, a trailing stop. After 5%, I think I tuned it to 4%. Between 4 and 5%, I set a trail so that I don't lose money once I show profit. Or at expiration. These trades end at 30 days. Actually, it's 45 days or 30 bars. 45 days, which is normally I set the options. There's 22 days. It's 22 trading days in a calendar, month. 45 days is about a month and a half. Somewhere around that area. That's good enough for government work. So I've showed you 1 losing trade, 1 winning trade, There's all the recent trades and all the profits. These mean they're still open yet, and these mean there was a trailing stop set and it took a profit. I'm not going to go into too much of this report here, but if I'm trading with about $1,000 account, so I get a lot of trades. And by the way, each trade I'm only using about $1,200, and then I scale in $1,200 each time. Each time it scales in, it adds another $1,200. That's why you get that $1,200 at a time. The risk-adjusted return here is 50%. That is sweet. That's better than Warren Buffett does. I'm not saying that that's what this will end up doing, okay? Because you make lots of mistakes when you trade from a roadmap. You take your profits too early. When you see them, you don't listen to the algorithm. Various different things always happens. Anyway, there's 256 trades for the last 2 months, starting in May till today. There's 61%, 62% winners, and when you win, the average profit is 266. So that means I'm going to lose about 40%, and the average loss is $200. And so there's about $66 difference in there on the average. And every time I place a trade, whether I win or lose, the average is I'm going to make $86. That's the 3 indicator strategy. And you can see that I spent my 4th of July weekend making some adjustments. One other thing I want to show you is you can set the report for trade list. That's what this is. And this is all an Omni broker. And you can do a detailed log, again the back test, and it comes with a trade list. And you can see the latest trade list is I scaled in Humana and also Heinz Kraft, and there was no new entry singles. This one, the last entry occurred at, and you've seen that on the trade list too, on the 20th. Humana and Logi on the 20th, and he exited. So this tells you, this roadmap here tells you what to do according to your strategy. Some people need a checklist like this. This checklist is provided in the premium level out on Discord. This is Corning, and you can see that this is a long trend down, and I think you have a long trend up. There is your RSI, and that would have picked up that at the beginning, but if you're setting your stops to around 8%, you'd get out a trade right out here. What about all this other stuff that you could be playing with? Likewise, there's the RSI here, and you got in this area, and you probably got out there. But what about all this? So you need a different strategy. The RSI strategy typically tries to pick the tops and bottoms, or when the reversal happens, but you have to capture the trend in between, and you need something for that. And so I use the MACD for that in between, once I determine that I have a trending stock. And how do I determine whether I have a trending stock? I use that algo in my Discord that I showed you, where I get the trend directions from it. And from that, once I find a long trending stock, this is, by the way, this strategy and algo is only for longs only. So I don't do one for shorts at this time. If the market swings heavily short, then I'll introduce that. But right now the market is bullish, so I'm concentrating on longs. There we go for your Corning and JB Hunt. That's a transportation company. And these are both positive. Looks like Mesa, which is an airlines, and did okay too. It's a cheap stock. The algo did well here and had a real rough start, but the losses were small. This is sweet. Risk adjust. Oh my! At the moment is 115%. That's really terrific. There's no trick. This is simply MACD and a thing called PPI. It determines how intense the trend is. Yeah, 71 and 30. Cool. Average profit is 320, and you lose 9 or 100. Yes, 3 times. I like that. How often do we get trades? We got them on a few days between there. For the month, looks like about 20 trades. Determine the trend direction, and if you can determine the trend direction, then kick in the MACD. Determine the trend direction and kick in the MACD. And those little arrows there, each time the PPI kicks in, you can add some more to your trade. Just an MACD line, and when the red is below the blue, that's the time to take a short, and opposite on the way up. 3 indicator strategy to pick the tops and bottoms. MACD strategy to enter in when the stock is trending. Again, going to the free Discord under Trade Ideas, I have a listing that goes out and looks for the RSIs, the MACDs, and stochastic. It gives buy signals individually now, not the three indicator strategy, because that's on the premium level, but these are occurring, and you can go ahead and check them out for yourself and see if you want to enter a trade. Let's look at Fiber, a buy, and PayPal, stochastic buy. Here's where you can find that trade idea list, and you just click on the link. There's your MACD signal, and it looks like the RSI and the stochastic RSI both pointing up, and it looks like Fiber is climbing. So what you do is you take a look at using that watch list and use your own indicators to see if your own indicators show the same thing. Anyway, Fiber under free trade ideas is showing a buy. Under PayPal, it showed a stochastic buy. There it is. The stochastic came around under the 80 and come back around. It shows a buy signal. Now, I don't usually like to take them under three indicator strategy. The MACD has to be below the zero, which not. And we had the RSI back in here somewhere. It also had a stochastic. This would have been a three indicator strategy right here. Would have showed a buy. And that would have been nice. But anyway, stochastic is saying buy now, and this may go up. We'll call it a buy. It's time. I think PayPal is going to claw its way back up. And I have a long trade in PayPal somewhere. Well, that's all I have for as far as charts. Let's do a summary quick. Short week, I don't know about these, but I went neutral. Algo is going long. I updated the FANG stocks and provided some new trades here. JB Hunt, Corning, and HPQ, which I didn't tell you about, but I added that too as a long. I seen it while I was out. And the last we covered Humana and Logi. Fiber, PayPal, Humana, and Logi. And I think I made a mistake here. I think I said Logi is going to be long. Yeah, long. Remember to do your own due diligence. Like and subscribe. Make a plan. And win for the rest of this week. Happy trading. We'll catch you on the flip.